cease to know the truth about yourself. What happened to
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. A Chinese telecommunications company, Hytera Communications, admitted to conspiring to steal Chicago-based Motorola Solutions technology. They pleaded guilty in Chicago federal court and may face up to $60 million in fines and restitution. At least 5 lawsuits have been filed against Southern California Edison, alleging negligence in the Eaton fire, which has burned over 14,000 acres, killed 17 people, and destroyed 7,000 structures. President Biden established 2 new national monuments in California to honor Native American tribes, protecting nearly 850,000 acres of significant land. And Iran's president denies any plot to assassinate Donald Trump during the 2024 election. This follows the Justice Department's charges against an Iranian man for an alleged murder-for-hire plan. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusion supply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The 16 sports teams in Los Angeles, including the new TGL golf team sponsored by Tiger Woods, have joined together to sell LA Strong t-shirts. Each team is marketing the t-shirt featuring the team's colors and logo. All revenue from the LA Strong t-shirts will go to the American Red Cross and the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation to help with relief efforts in response to the wildfires in LA County. The t-shirts are available on each team's website. The Lakers and Clippers are back in action tonight with home games. The Lakers, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, are playing Miami at Crypto.com. The Lakers won't have to deal with Jimmy Butler. He's serving a 7-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the team. The Clippers are playing Brooklyn tonight at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. The Clippers have moved up to 5th place in the Western Conference. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Get out the way. Move.
First things first with Dominique DiPrima at 6 a.m. Tavis Smiley at 9 a.m. Truth Time with Dr. Cornell West and Nina Turner at 12 noon. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show at 1 p.m. The D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show at 2 p.m. A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nee Quarterly Quartet at 4 p.m. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way.
Tune in weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the talk of the town. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not doing serious. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is called First Things First. And my first thing today and every day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God. Asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Let's talk. Okay, so the way we do the show on Wednesdays, hour 1, we look local. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic or a person of interest. And all that is happening today. Of course, it's a wealth building Wednesday, so we will meet a Black, BIPOC, or small business, local enterprise that we are putting the spotlight on so we can help to build Black wealth, local strength, recirculate and circulate those dollars in our communities, etc., etc., etc. So all that is what is on deck for you today. Looking forward to the conversation with Cheryl Bedford in hour 3 about Black Hollywood, Black women in Hollywood specifically, and how all of this is impacting. And by all of this, I mean calamity, catastrophe, disaster, unity, rebuilding, strength, all of the things that are happening and coexisting in this moment. That's what I'm talking about. So looking forward to that conversation. And it is a great day to call me because there's a lot of space. You know, tomorrow we are going to be out at Altadena, Pasadena. And in case you haven't heard the spot, we have had to pivot because the National Guard has closed down the area where we were planning to broadcast right there in Perry's Joint, which is a beloved Pasadena gathering spot, a sandwich shop, a Black-owned establishment that was opening just for us, but they are now being cordoned off by the National Guard, so we are not going to be at Perry's. Not today, maybe another day, maybe going back and getting a sandwich, but we will not be broadcasting from Perry's. We're going to be broadcasting from the Pasadena Church. That's the name of it. It sounds like I'm just going, you know, that church in Pasadena. No, it's actually called the Pasadena Church. We're going to be in the East Campus, the sanctuary, as it were, and we will be, and which is good because there's lots of room in there, and it also happens to be a distribution point, right, for help, whether it be clothing, whether it be food, gift cards, all of that is being distributed there at the Pasadena Church. So that means that, because a lot of people have taken it upon themselves, shout out to those who did that, to collect things, and they want to bring them. Y'all want to bring them. We're grateful for that, to the broadcast tomorrow. So you can do that now easily because you'll be bringing them directly to one of the main distribution centers. And big thank you to Pastor Kerwin Manning for opening his doors to us there. It's 425 Sierra Madre Villa, 425 Sierra Madre Villa in Pasadena. And so that is where we will be broadcasting, actually from the sanctuary. Little intimidating, but we're going to pray on that. And all are welcome. If you know folks that are impacted or just folks that want to be in fellowship and in conversation, let them know. We're going to be out there. We're going to be broadcasting. I'm bringing my microphones. And I'm really happy that we will be joined by community organizations, people that are leading these efforts by and for Black people to recover and to organize. Because it's the mutual aid part is super important, but the other part is important too, and that's why I was so happy to talk with attorney Ariva Martin yesterday and to hear what the Urban League, the LA Urban League, and Martin & Martin, her law firm, are doing, which is taking this help and taking it on the road. Because where are the people of Altadena? The people of Altadena, the homeowners whose properties were burned to the ground, are with family, they're in shelters, they're with friends, they're in hotels. Where they're not mostly is Altadena. So that means we have to find a way to make sure the resources find those folks. And I appreciate so much attorney Ariva Martin taking that show on the road because one of the big issues is going to be, are we able to hold on to our properties? Are we able to rebuild that community? And what does rebuilding look like? Like, this is the part I haven't figured out yet, but I'm working on someone that can credibly talk about that. Because if we don't have the ability to rebuild differently, couldn't this just happen again? I mean, we are in a climate emergency, right? We are. Folks want to be in denial. That's fine. I understand it. I was crushed talking to a friend telling me that he had a very cavalier attitude when he was told to evacuate because he's lived in Altadena for many years. And so, yeah, they always tell us there's a fire coming. It's no big deal. But we are I think we are in a different era right now. And he was one of the last to leave in his community, he said, and his house burned to the ground. Nothing left but ashes. So I believe we're in a different era where we are entering the real climate emergency phase, the impact of that. The good news is it's not too late to pivot, right? We can rebuild differently. We're going to have to. But I don't know what that looks like. You know, do you build with a moat around your house? Do we have to create a pre-built fire line or break between nature and our homes? Like, what does that look like? I'll have some sustainability experts in here to talk about that, because it's not just clearing brush, contrary to what the president-elect says. Yeah, we do need to clean up the dried debris around our homes. That's part of our responsibility. We have to keep our yards, and especially the area right around our house, if we can, clear as possible. But there's more to it than that, right? There's the issue of what kind of plant life grows in there. And if we are clearing out the natural plant life, then invasive species can come in, and that's not good for our ecosystem, and it's actually worse for fire. So there's a lot of considerations. It's not just that simple, and we're going to have to be very intentional about how and where we build back, which makes me wonder about, of course, I'm always thinking about gentrification and how this impacts us, because there are already speculators up there. I've talked to several homeowners already who they've either spotted some real estate vulture types roaming around, or they've been directly approached to sell their lot. And we know that that's going to be pushing folks out, so who's coming in? But at the same time, can you kind of blame people for thinking about going somewhere else if this is how it's going to be? And you can point fingers all you want to until we get really serious about addressing this climate emergency and making deep changes to how we live our lives so that we can interrupt the cycle of the greenhouse gases and the warming of our planet. We call it climate change because it's cold. How can the planet be warming? It means overall, right? Globally, temperatures are rising. It could still have extreme weather, so some places could be much colder than usual. We could have flooding like we saw in Spain last year. There's extreme weather impacts to this. It's not just, it's always going to be hot. But the temperature planet-wide is higher. It's higher than it's ever been since we've been recording it. And I know some of our folks that are immune to data, like the guy that's getting sworn in on Monday, and the people who put profit over their own grandchildren, talking to you oil company executives, most of them, may want to be in denial about that. And that's your right. That's your prerogative. But those of us that actually care, not just about ourselves or trees and flowers and bird species, but leaving our children and grandchildren a planet that can sustain human life, those of us that, care about that, that don't just think we can colonize Mars. Hello, Team Earth here. We know that whether you think it's God or Mother Nature, or if you're like me and you think it's both, then you know that they designed something perfect for human life and all the plants and animals that are needed to sustain it. And if you're so arrogant as to think you can just go replicate that in Mars and just trash this planet and get another one, I am going to pray for you. Icarus. What does that mean? You built your own wings and thought you could fly toward the sun, and woo, watch you falling. Now, I'm not anti-science. You can go on and colonize Mars if you want to, but that I don't think we should just dispose of our own planet that we know works. And, and we'll be here to rescue y'all if that Mars thing don't work out. Those of us that are willing to do what it takes to change our mindsets and to pressure our corporations, because that's really what it means. All the plastics that are on everything. Am I going to stop buying, my favorite this, that, or the third because it has plastics on it? Probably not, especially if it's something I need. But I can pressure that corporation to stop packaging it that way. And I hope that this is really a moment, a light bulb moment, an aha moment. Is that what Oprah calls it? An aha moment? Whatever. For not just those people who have had the most devastating tragedies hit their families and their lives, but for all of us. While we're in this rallying point, because if you're in LA, we're about being strong and protecting each other and looking out for each other right now. That is the vibe. Maybe you have to be here to feel it, but that's what's happening here in Los Angeles. But I'm hoping that also comes with a raising of our consciousness and some self-education around this climate emergency and what we can do, because it's not too late. Scientists have repeatedly said we can still fix this. It is not too late. And that is the best news ever. It's the perfect time to call me. 800-920-1580. What are you going through? What do you need? I've got resources and referrals, lists at my fingertips. I've got a shoulder here for you to cry on, a microphone for you to vent on. Miles is here to talk sports with you if you want to do that, even though he's an Eagles fan. We are here for you. 800-920-1580. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We gon' be alright. KBLA Talk 1580 is amplifying Black voices and spotlighting our untold stories. I'm Dominique DiPrima. Join me Thursday from 6 to 9 a.m. as we broadcast live from the Altadena, Pasadena area. Due to the National Guard closing down this section, we will not be at Perry's Joint. Our new location is the Pasadena Church East Campus at 425 Sierra Madre Villa. We'll be covering the individuals and families impacted by the Altadena Eaton fire. Hear from community leaders and those who have suffered losses that must not be forgotten. So join us Thursday at the Pasadena Church East Campus at 425 Sierra Madre Villa. Together we can help them rebuild and recover. Together we are LA Strong, LA United. With your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TOOL for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TOOL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TOOL.
The Ignited Light program invites one and all to the 8th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service, January 18th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza. The spirit of Dr. King's legacy of service continues as local organizations come together. A drive-through food giveaway, free medical services, the Department of Children's Services offering employment opportunities. Foster and emancipated females aged 18 to 26 can take part in a very special She Ready luggage giveaway on Saturday, January 18th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Baldwin Hills, Crenshaw Plaza. More info, visit adayon.org. Again, adayon.org. Drivers, please enter from the Marlton Ave entrance.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, the lines are open. I always invite a dialogue, not a monologue. It's 800-920-1580. But y'all know, Gemini in the house. We got monologue if that's what y'all want. 800-920-1580. Let's go to Kwamel calling us from Gardena. Good morning, friend.
Hey, good morning. And just going through it with the fast. I'm on the last day of it, but boy, it's been a monster.
How long have you been fasting?
You know, since Monday, and to the world, no, I'm not Muslim, nothing like that. It's just I'm 5%, but yeah, it's it's kind of one of those kind of cleanse discipline kind of things. Yeah.
Good job. Well, it's my last. I'm doing a juice cleanse. It's my last day too. Molly Bell has suggested that we all fast together. So if y'all want to do today, you can join Kwamel on his last day and me on my last day of my juice cleanse, and just cleanse your body today.
Yeah, I'm about to start doing those, juice instead of just nothing but water, because the nothing but water was maybe a monster, but.
Yeah, I can't. My body doesn't handle that well. My blood sugar drops and I start beating people up. But
oh my.
But just
now,
sometimes with spirulina or some small something, you can mostly do liquids.
Indeed. Now I wanted to talk about just how this event, which I almost liken. I mean, now it's the National Guard. It really is easy to kind of liken it to the 92, with the riot / uprising / rebellion, whatever folks want to call it, prefer to call it. I give whatever name you want, but now, I mean, you got the social media and the Fox News and all that stuff kind of amplifying really disgusting things. I'm seeing. Of course, the Sky News people getting on in Newsom and Bass's faces, and trying to come up with these embarrassing stunts. And I saw one overnight because I don't know, I kind of had I couldn't sleep moment. I was looking, with Bass and I guess an assistant of hers at an airport, and then these Sky News person got like a camera all in her face, while he's just pelting her with all these stupid
right. That was
should you be embarrassed?
That was from when she was traveling back from Ghana. So that was several days ago. And I thought it was very shady journalism, because the mayor obviously did not want to talk to that person. I wish she would have told him to, F off. But, I'll talk to my city when I get home to my city. But instead she was silent, and he was filling in the blanks so he could make it look like he did something.
Yeah. I really hated like the facial expressions on the camera. I wish he should have said like, "Yo," like, I'm not criticizing her, but just like give him some like, yeah, we have work to do. You can ask all questions once we start doing the work, and then left it at that.
Yeah.
But also, which I've been seeing is really, really awful, and I think it's going to have a bad lasting impacts here. Is the rent gouging?
Yeah.
Like I know we're getting ready to get TikTok unfortunately banned out of here, but I've seen one person.
Oh my gosh, Kwamel! Before I forget, did you see now Bloomberg is reporting that Elon Musk might be buying TikTok?
I've heard that. I heard that.
Oh, I hope he doesn't. Oh, please, because Twitter is just a hellscape now.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, you may as well call it X at this point because they've totally flipped into just a disgusting thing. But
you're right.
And I'm kind of worried even speaking of that. But I'll get to that in a moment as well. But on the price gouging tip, the lady was showing that on Zillow, there would be like these properties, usually on the west side, where they would get listed for like a crazy price. But you already think like, who the hell is renting for like the 6,000s and stuff, but it would get taken down, and then and it would show the whole price or listing history on it, and then it get relisted for like just exorbitant amounts right after the fires.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram as well, just like doubling in price or a 50% jump. And
even tripling.
So, and that's going to have a ripple effect. I mean, to your point, right now it's mostly in the areas right around Palisades where folks are trying to keep their kids in school by getting an adjacent property and around Pasadena. But this market it's big, but there's not that much inventory of housing. So, it's going to have a ripple effect. And I wonder, I already see a lot of people from the West Side moving to Crenshaw because it's a quote unquote bargain. So I am also concerned about the impacts here in this part of town.
Yeah, I mean, it can almost have a Katrina-like effect on the whole city. Where, you people would probably never return to where they were. So it gets me concerned for Altadena as well. But yeah, back to what you pointed out about something like the social media or some of the X behavior. I had to look in on the Cerise Castles and the Breonna Joy Grays of the world to kind of see where they were taking it, and see if it got hijacked by anybody. So Cerise Castle posts up or retweets that very same Sky News Karen Bass clip, and I was like, okay, whose side are you on, Cerise? And not that she has to be on the side, maybe she really does need to report the news.
Well, I think that a lot of the folks on the left are attacking the mayor. I've taken criticism for supporting her. It's like people think because they feel she's vulnerable that whatever axe they have to grind, now is the time to do it. And I don't agree with that. Throw a very highly qualified, competent mayor under the bus because you feel she's vulnerable right now, and so this is the moment to attack. I don't agree with that strategy on the left. I think it's a terrible idea, and I think it's not going to end well if you keep doing that. I love Cerise Castle, by the way. I'm not criticizing her per se, but a lot of my friends I've been boxing with about this because our mayor, you're not going to get a more qualified person. You're not. Just because some reporter does a, shady journalism, attack journalism piece in an airport, what does that say? It says maybe the mayor could have handled the press better. It says her team should have protected her from that. It says that, this reporter is an a-hole. But does it really tell you anything about the preparation or what we really did? You should apologize to your city. Man, we haven't even done an investigation yet. What are you talking about? They're not even fair questions. These are the things that give journalists bad names and make people not want to come on our shows.
And final point, yes. I mean, even with what Breonna Joy Gray was trying to do by talking about, like kind of like the water issues or building in certain places, say like, oh, these places shouldn't have been built in the first place, and unregulated capitalism, so you get all the MAGA trolls smashed like, no, you need to focus on DEI stuff and all that. What I'm afraid is going to create, and I'll leave you with this, is just going to end up having us with another Pete Wilson.
Good.
And I'm done.
Absolutely could.
I'm going to leave that thought there. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, it could. Thank you, Kwamel. We've got news, traffic, and sports, and then call me. Be like Kwamel. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know from BIN News. President Biden is preparing to deliver his farewell address to the nation in prime time tonight, just days before he leaves the White House. Biden will speak from the Oval Office at 8 p.m. Eastern. A Falcon 9 rocket launched from Kennedy Space Center carrying Firefly Aerospace's Blue Ghost lunar lander and a Japanese moon rover. The Blue Ghost is expected to land on the moon in early March after a 45-day trip. The FBI is investigating a collision between a Super Scooper firefighting plane and an unauthorized drone at the Palisades fire. The plane was repaired and is back in service. The FBI has set up a tip line to identify the drone operator. And the Governor's Ball Music Festival lineup includes headliners Olivia Rodrigo and Tyler, the Creator. Other acts include T-Pain and Tyla. The festival runs from June 6th to the 8th with passes on sale Thursday. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store and everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The 16 sports teams in Los Angeles, including the new TGL golf team sponsored by Tiger Woods, have joined together to sell LA Strong t-shirts. Each team is marketing the t-shirt featuring the team's colors and logo. All revenue from the LA Strong t-shirts will go to the American Red Cross and the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation to help with relief efforts in response to the wildfires in LA County. The t-shirts are available on each team's website. The Lakers and Clippers are back in action tonight with home games. The Lakers, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, are playing Miami at Crypto.com. The Lakers won't have to deal with Jimmy Butler. He's serving a 7-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the team. The Clippers are playing Brooklyn tonight at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. The Clippers have moved up to 5th place in the Western Conference. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in tough times, connecting you with resources and what you need to know. Evacuation shelters are located in the Pasadena Civic Center, the Dream Center in LA, the Westwood Recreation Center, and many more. You can call 311 for details. Santa Anita Park in Arcadia is a pop-up mutual aid hub where you can pick up anything from clothing to food and hygiene supplies. If you're in Los Angeles County and in need of food, call Omni Ministries at 310-631-1557. Donations can be made to Zelle, Omni Ministries, Inc. at yahoo.com. Parking Lot I outside of Rose Bowl Stadium is a pop-up mutual aid hub where you can pick up everything from clothing to food to hygiene supplies for free. To volunteer or donate to help victims of the fire, contact the LA Emergency Network at enla.org. The Cochran Firm and Ivy McNeil, Wyatt Purcell and Diggs, Jasmine Canick, and others have launched a GoFundMe specifically targeting Altadena. Visit LA Fires, the impacted Black community urgently needs help on GoFundMe, and donate to help Black evacuees fighting for survival. Airbnb is offering free temporary housing to people displaced by the fires. Call 211 to sign up. The LA Chamber of Commerce is stepping up to help you sort out insurance claims and other paperwork. Reach them at 213-580-7500. South LA Cafe has free groceries, clothing, and water available at 1700 Browning Boulevard in LA. Track their giveaways or volunteer through their Instagram at South LA Cafe. U-Haul is donating short-term storage free of charge for 30 days to evacuees. Shelter for small or large animals can be accessed by calling 211. A Black-led coalition of community organizations is offering support and resources in the Altadena area at the Flint Ridge Center at 236 West Mountain Street in Pasadena. For comprehensive lists of resources for housing, food, shelter, and more, visit Mutual Aid LA Network on Instagram. Praying for LA and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
Somebody's been praying for me.
Thanks to the generous support of the KBLA Talk 1580 delegation, we were able to donate 545 pounds of coats and blankets to the LA mission this winter season.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
The LA mission expressed its deep gratitude for our gift all over social media, but we wish to thank them and all the other service providers who look out daily for the less fortunate in our community, finding our happy by being helpful.
Hallelujah.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, where we do more than just talk.
Somebody's been praying for me.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do appreciate you waking up with me and keeping me up. 800-920-1580. And you know, I'm finding so many good resources on Instagram, even though I know it's part of Meta, but it hasn't gone totally hellscape yet. In fact, people are funny. I saw some people posting misinformation about Mark Zuckerberg on IG because he's taking away fact-checking. Somebody posted that he had died and that he had, 3 feet, or I don't know, just crazy stuff, to see if Community Notes would pick it up, and they did not. Really good site is Mutual Aid LA. They have a lot of resources that you can find scrolling, not from any one organization, but sort of an aggregation of different resources. And they make a great point in one post that went up a few days ago, which is that some of the shelters are overwhelmed. Some of the delivery spots, for donations are overwhelmed. So it would be a good idea to check in first and make sure they need what you have to give, or that they're accepting still what you have to give. Again, as Brandon Lamar said on Monday, gift cards are the best things. They're small, they're easy to store. People that are on the move, displaced, living in hotels and shelters can use them better. I myself have a couple friends that have evacuated and then had to move from one friend's house to another or one hotel to another, so they might not be staying somewhere where they can bring that food or bring that whatever other items. Small hygiene items are very much in demand. And look, if one donation point cannot take it, another can. So check and then pivot. Walk Good LA is taking stuff on Pico and Crenshaw. I don't know what their capacity is or at this point, or exactly what they are still asking for. And Plan B, which could also be Plan A, is go ahead and take it to the Union Rescue Mission or another organization that helps the unhoused. Black Lives Matter LA is actually taking, I think they're taking stuff, I'm actually almost 100% sure, but you can always reach out to them, DM them through BLM LA, on BLM Los Angeles. On Instagram, they're on Twitter, and they've been delivering stuff directly to the community. And like I said, there's tons of organizations. There's food banks. Those food banks, like the LA Regional Food Bank, they help everybody. The unhoused, the unemployed, low-income folks that can't make ends meet. And there are plenty of people who haven't lost a house, who have either lost a job because that business burned down, or they've lost all of their customers. I was talking to a friend, black person. All of their customers are in the Palisades. Their customers are not necessarily black, but now they're gone or they're in crisis. And so there's a lot of layers to this. And I know the reaction is, I'm just going to bring stuff to the Santa Anita Park, which I believe actually still is accepting donations, or I'm just going to bring stuff to this shelter. But at this point, we want to make sure it's helpful rather than a burden to a place that doesn't have storage for certain kinds of things. And nobody almost nobody is looking for used clothing at this point. You can take that to the Goodwill, or maybe some of the unhoused organizations. I'm not sure. LA Can, I'm sure, could direct you in the right way. Just be mindful so that we can be part of the solution rather than just reactive. Today in St. James Park, there is something called Produce in the Park that happens every Thursday. Apparently it happens rain or shine, and it is an opportunity to get free produce. It's near USC, St. James Park, and they have plenty. So you can just show up, or you can sign up in advance. It's from 11:45 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And you can help if you want to volunteer. You can help, or you can go and get some food, and you're invited to do so every week. But I know some folks, and so that's what I'm saying. Maybe you haven't lost your house, but your business has been impacted, or you've lost your job. You are still eligible to go and get some of these resources and some of this help. Let's go to Ira calling us from LA, one of our loyal Republican listeners. Good morning, Ira.
Good morning, and we're keeping all those affected in our prayers and wishing the very best for them. I just wanted people to take note that black females are under attack across the country, particularly in politics and business. And I think many people think that it's because they are a part of the DEI wave, which is passé, and there's a real retrenchment going on. And we have to keep a lot of black females in our prayers as well. These are going to be tough times for those who've made it so-called advancements in the recent future. It's going to be some very tough times.
Yeah, I think that's right, Ira. And it's ironic because as a black woman, I can tell you, and I'm sure you know this as a black man, if you fight your way to be the first female of any nationality to be mayor of LA, you are not. That ain't DEI. That's an actual election where people have to vote for you, and you have to raise money, and you have to convince them that you're qualified by being qualified, not just being rich. So, I mean, that's just one example. You know, we were talking about the president of MSNBC stepping down yesterday, and you're right, Marilyn Mosby, folks still urging Biden to pardon her, and the list is long. I have a question for you, Ira, though. How did you come, because I know that you are not unapologetically progressive, how did you come to find out about KBLA and start being part of our delegation?
Well, I followed Tavis Smiley for a number of years. He's my, not only is he my frat brother, but he is, he's a journalist that I respect a great deal. And when I heard that he started a station, I was one of the first ones on board.
Okay, I love that. So supporting your fellow black man, your fellow frat brother, and certainly an iconic journalist for sure.
Very much, very much. I respect him a great deal. I think he's doing a wonderful job. I'm also from I think he went to school in Indiana. I'm from St. Louis, and in St. Louis we have a mayor, a black female mayor, who's also under attack for travel allowances. But the one thing I will say about Karen Bass is this: it's really all a part of a plot. It's the same thing's happening in San Francisco. For decades, San Francisco has been declining. It was when it was under the control largely of white males. You get a black female in for one term, and they put all the blame for all of those bad things happening on her. They're doing the same thing with Karen Bass here. It's all a part of their plan. They put her in place after decades of whites running the show for the most part, and then they're going to put all the blame on her. But I'm saying it's a part of a scheme that we're seeing nationwide, and it's because black women, by and large, are too aggressive.
Okay, well, what does that mean? Because I think when we do something that a white man would do, or even a white woman would do, we're labeled as aggressive and angry, and we're just doing our jobs. And I don't think anyone's ever called Karen Bass aggressive, by the way. She's very humble. But I have been a subject of that myself, getting called a B or, oh, she's, this or that, because I'm doing my job. And if a man was doing it, they'd be like, oh, that young man is a real leader.
Well, yeah, it's not fair. It's really not fair. I've told my daughters this, but we have to understand something. White men own and control everything, so they can do things differently than we can. Donald Trump is president of the United States. He's a felon. He's a guy who's been accused of being a sexual abuser. A black woman could never reach those levels and have those sorts of things, that baggage on her.
I mean, a black man couldn't do that either. That would never happen. There would have been no President Obama had he had 34 felonies. No way.
No way. But that's because the whites own and control everything. Life was much better for black people under segregation because we had our own. Now we're trying to intrude on white spaces. They're not going to allow it.
Intrude.
And they're slapping us back.
Okay.
Yeah, we're invading white spaces.
I mean, I've heard that argument, but they're not white spaces. I mean, they're indigenous Native American spaces, or they're spaces that are meant to be for everybody that we've been excluded from. I understand what you're saying. They've been white dominated spaces, but that's not the way it was meant to be. That's not fair. And Trevor, I think, I've heard that argument a lot, that we were better off under segregation. And in some ways I can see what people mean by that. Like we had our own baseball league and we had our own businesses that we had no choice but to support. So we were recycling more black dollars. But when you look at the way that our movements were restricted, we couldn't stay in this hotel, we couldn't go on that plane, we couldn't sit here on the bus. I mean, I think in some ways we were better off. I think to make the statement that across the board we were better off is a little misleading, although I've never lived under strict segregation. LA's segregated enough for me. You're supposed to stick to your freeway exit. But yeah, I appreciate the call, and I just wanted to thank you for supporting the station, even though we often disagree. I wanted to thank you for that, Ira.
You're welcome anytime. And listen, keep an eye on black female mortality. The rates were much lower when we lived under segregation. The healthcare systems, they don't care about black women.
We know that. I haven't checked that data, but I absolutely will. Thanks, Ira. Ira called 800-920-1580, and you can do the same. What's wrong with me today? I love you too much. 800-920-1580. It's unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you, neighbor to neighbor, bringing you resources and what you need to know. Sign up for Notify LA on your phone to get fire danger alerts and updates, or check on lafd.org. The Watch Duty app is free and provides wildfire maps and updates in real time. Keep your gas tank full and plan your route in case you have to leave the area. City and county officials are urging you to pack a go bag so you can be ready to leave your home quickly in case of an evacuation order. Your go bag should include a couple of days of clothing, copies of your important documents and ID, money, insurance information, your medications, electronic devices, batteries, chargers, a small radio, and emergency contacts. If you receive an evacuation order, gather your loved ones, grab your bag, your pet food, and leave immediately. For information on shelters for your pets or even your family, call 211 for the City of Los Angeles and 311 county-wide. Wearing a mask outside will help protect you from smoke, toxic fume, and particulate matter. If you don't need to go out, it's best to stay home with the windows closed. Getting to know your neighbors is a great way to stay safe, stay connected, and share resources. And Angelinos are stepping up to help. So reach out and find the assistance you need. Mutual Aid LA Network is constantly updating a Google Sheet with mutual aid resources. You can find it at tiny.cc-malan-fire. The earlier you make a plan, the better off you'll be when every second counts. Praying for LA, preparing, and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Febreze. So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
We are here for you today and every day. 800-920-1580. That's the number to call. And you know, these investigations are going to be ongoing. And we will find out more and more about what happened. But I think no matter what is uncovered, we have to keep it in the context of the climate emergency. That's what we're dealing with. That is what is going to sadly make this stuff more and more urgent, right? And more frequent. And I think the sooner we accept that, the sooner we're going to start changing the way we think, the way we live our lives, and what it is that we do to stay well. And to Trevor's point, there's a sentence I didn't think I'd be saying, but anyway, to Trevor's point, Mayor Tashira Jones there in St. Louis has been under attack. They say she's jet setting. So mayors of every city can travel. They have sister cities in different parts of the world. We have different kinds of trade agreements, especially a huge city like Los Angeles. There are all kinds of international connections. We've got the Olympics coming up. Well, we'll see. I mean, I hope we have the Olympics coming up. They're supposed to be here. We'll see what decisions are made regarding the impact of the fires. But the point is that in itself creates international business that mayors have to do, especially if you're a big city like ours. And so the fact that these two black women mayors are being criticized for traveling, and the New York Times is hella petty because they published a whole article. LA's mayor promised not to travel before she came to be mayor. What does that have to do with anything? First of all, that's stupid because a big city mayor has to travel. You know, do we want our mayor out of town all the time? No, but there are things they have to do that are relevant. And every single mayor since I've been living in this city has always traveled. And many times that travel has included bringing back great trade deals or resources to our city. And second of all, why are we acting like there's no phones, satellite phones, FaceTime, email? You know, why are we acting like the mayor, like I've been to Ghana many times, like now you're not in contact. What did I do when I was in Ghana? I broadcast my whole radio show every day. I posted on Instagram and Facebook so y'all could come with me. So clearly, I was in contact. I actually, monitored my child's homework, et cetera, or whatever. Not homework because it was summer, but, whatever they're supposed to be doing for their school, summer school or summer study programs. And I am not a mayor or a governor or a congressperson. So I don't have those extra satellite phones and people, connecting me from here to there and on military planes. I don't have that. I was just using my regular old, Apple device. Shout out to Apple for recommending that the board not reject DEI. But to call a Tashira Jones or a Karen Bass DEI is BS, because they fought for those positions. They competed in a regular race. Just because you spent $100 million out of your personal fortune and you got another $4 million from the police cartel does not mean that candidate is DEI. In fact, it's just the opposite. It means I've got to beat you with one hand tied behind my back. It means, like your mama used to say, we have to be twice as good to get half the credit. But as me and Dick Gregory used to say, fortunately, that's not that hard for us because God's given us many blessings and gifts. Okay? There's no DEI here. It's just the opposite. It's more like DIE, because y'all are trying to keep us out. And I'm not generalizing about white people. When I say y'all in this context, I'm talking about conservatives. I'm talking about racists. I'm talking about people who are willing to automatically jump to conclusions about black women, and the folks that just automatically think we're incompetent, which is racism. Did you look at her resume? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. How is it DEI? This is reminding me of the Pete Hegseth hearings on yesterday. How is it DEI when one candidate has been a board member of a college and a DWP commissioner, meaning he's, as Ed Sanders rightly pointed out, actually far more responsible going back more years. But anyway, for whatever messes we have to clean up with the Department of Water and Power. And the other candidate has been a state assembly member, has been the speaker of the House for our state, has been a congresswoman, has built a community-based organization from the ground up that still stands, has been a professional healthcare worker, has held all of those positions, and is a lifelong resident of this city? Which one sounds more qualified to you? Which one is the DEI? Well, maybe we need a new category, BEI, Billionaires, Equity and Inclusion, where they just buy their way in. It doesn't always work, especially not here in California, where we're like, okay, you rich, but can you do the job? Nope. Ask Carly Fiorina. Ask, Meg Whitman. Okay, you're rich, but can you do the job? Nope. Ask Rick Caruso. Who's the DEI candidate? If you were just to look at the resumes with no name and no black woman's face, one is clearly more qualified than the other one. And yet you have the nerve to call our people the DEI? That is clearly racism. That's just DEI is a new N-word. That's all that is. And, speaking of the DWP, is the DWP chief was on this show, CEO, and now that clip has gone viral. Janice Quinones is her name. And she served in the military for 14 years. Highly qualified. Now, could she have made a mistake? I don't know. I need to see what happened. They emptied that reservoir for maintenance. Is that unusual? Was that a terrible decision? Well, none of us foresaw the storm, but I need more data about that. But to automatically attack her as DEI without looking at her resume is just plain old-fashioned racism. We've got our Wealth Building Wednesday next, and we're taking your phone calls. So much going on around here at KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. President Biden is preparing to deliver his farewell address to the nation in prime time tonight, just days before he leaves the White House. Biden will speak from the Oval Office at 8 p.m. Eastern. A Falcon 9 rocket launched from Kennedy Space Center carrying Firefly Aerospace's Blue Ghost lunar lander and a Japanese moon rover. The Blue Ghost is expected to land on the moon in early March after a 45-day trip. The FBI is investigating a collision between a Super Scooper firefighting plane and an unauthorized drone at the Palisades fire. The plane was repaired and is back in service. The FBI has set up a tip line to identify the drone operator. And the Governor's Ball Music Festival lineup includes headliners Olivia Rodrigo and Tyler, the Creator. Other acts include T-Pain and Tyla. The festival runs from June 6th to the 8th with passes on sale Thursday. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store and everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The 16 sports teams in Los Angeles, including the new TGL golf team sponsored by Tiger Woods, have joined together to sell LA Strong t-shirts. Each team is marketing the t-shirt featuring the team's colors and logo. All revenue from the LA Strong t-shirts will go to the American Red Cross and the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation to help with relief efforts in response to the wildfires in LA County. The t-shirts are available on each team's website. The Lakers and Clippers are back in action tonight with home games. The Lakers trying to snap a 3-game losing. No speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news